Welcome to r/Choosingbeggars, where beggars demand that you go to jail for them. Hi, I love your giveaway idea, but I think you should give out the cost of the painting to the winner. Your art is cool, but someone like me is not really interested in getting a piece of painting. You'll get a lot more attention this way too. You're asking me to offer cash instead? Basically, what am I supposed to do with the painting? Plus, if you're giving away the painting, you're already losing money. Might as well just offer to give out that money. You can even send it through MoneyGram or Gift Rocket. Sorry you feel that way, but I'm not going to give away cash. Hope you find another giveaway that fits your requirements. Your loss. I'm not even going to follow you or enter your stupid contest. Cool. F you! How are people supposed to feed their family with a piece of your sucky art? I don't know, maybe get a job? How about maybe you put a good giveaway where you actually give out things people want? F off, I'm blocking you. Asking someone to get a job to buy food for their family. The nerve of some people. Hi there, I was wondering if you guys can build us a unit similar to the one on your website with the clear plexi bottom. It's for a charity and I think it would be perfect to collect some donations. Please let me know. Thanks, Charlotte. Hi Charlotte, no probs. Have you got an idea of specs or did you want the same one in the pic? Also, time frame please. Cheers. Then what follows is Charlotte sends 5 emails in the course of 1 minute, each with different specifications for the computer. Oh wow, lots of emails. I think it may be easier if you just list everything you need in point form, but so far everything you've listed is doable. Lol, sorry, I get excited sometimes. Okay, so I'd like the following please. 32-inch screen, leopard print as attached on front and sides, transparent overlay on the perspex with a message, purple blacklight, light up header, branded, I'll send the logo, a nice sound system so we can stream music. I think that's it. Okay, got it. All in all, you're looking at $2,195 plus delivery, about a 2-week turnaround give or take. Send me the details you'd like on the invoice and I'll whip one up for you. Cheers. This is for charity, lol. I mentioned that at the beginning. You mentioned on your website you do charity machines? Ideal for charity, supporting drug habits and anything which requires collecting money without having to pull a shank on anyone. Branded to your specs, of course. Maybe I didn't clarify that part, sorry. So it's going to Brisbane, we'll pay the shipping. Ah, my apologies. Maybe I didn't clarify that part myself. I build them for charity organizations. I don't actually build them for charity. I think you missed the price just underneath the blurb you pasted. Sorry for the misunderstanding. Oh, the way they're advertised is very misleading. One would assume that a charity machine would be for charity. I can see where the confusion lies. One would also assume that the $1,895 price tag in bold would be the price of the unit. We sell them to charities so that the charity can use them to collect money. Sorry for not clarifying that in the ad. Well, you really should clarify it. I'm sorry, but we really had our hopes up. This would have been an excellent earner for us. We actually wanted 3 units, but anyway, never mind. I may have to take this up with fair trading as your advertising specifically mentions charity and now you want to charge for it. I will, Charlotte. I will make the font much larger and bolder, not the same size as the actual ad. Just out of curiosity, those 3 units you wanted, did you also expect them free? Your tone is very condescending and unprofessional. It's not unusual for businesses to donate more than a few items to charity. We would have paid the shipping on all of them naturally. I will definitely refer this to fair trading now. Charlotte, I'm experimenting with homeopathic sarcasm right now. It's very heavily diluted compared to my prescription dose. Please excuse me if I've caused any insult by not clarifying that the price underneath my items on the website is what we actually charge for said items. I just happened to mention it in the ad that it's good for a charity as well as people with drug habits. Yet, people with drug habits aren't asking for a free machine or 3 because they fit a description on my website, then threatening me with fair trading. Please don't respond to this. My meds are wearing off. I can't believe I wasted my time with your company. So frustrating. We have stakeholders now who will be very upset, and I'm sure they'll be contacting you. Goodbye. Sorry, I was dealing with real paying customers. Please forward these emails to your upset stakeholders. Let them know you're willing to give them $3K out of your pocket and work 2 weeks for free. For charity, lol. Emojis. What's so bad about working for free for charity? I mean, every time one of my videos gets demonetized, that's basically what I'm doing. But it all works out in the end. Look at all this exposure I get. TGI Fridays will never get our business ever again. When a military couple come in, they only give the person who was in the military the discount, not the spouse. I guess they have never heard the saying, the hardest job in the Navy is being a military spouse. When your spouse is in the military, so are you. Who do you think keeps the house together and family strong? It is the other spouse who is in the military alongside of her husband. It is not the matter of the 10% discount. It is the matter of basically saying the spouse don't matter. We go to Outback or Texas Roadhouse where they give both of us a discount and also thank us for our service. I'm not in the military, so I'm not really sure if this is a common sentiment, but do people actually say that the hardest job in the military is being a military spouse? Because to me, it kind of seems like the hardest job in the military is getting shot at. Hi, in love with the phone cases. Was wondering if you wanted to collab. Thanks so much. Glad you liked them. What'd you have in mind? If I got a case, I could post on my account for my followers to see. You'd get loads of orders. If you purchased a case, you'd be free to do whatever you want with it. I love seeing people share if they're happy with it. Thanks. I meant you should give me one. Why would I do that? Because it's my dog on the case. But everyone who orders has their own dog on the case. If we gave them away, we wouldn't have any customers? Are you not giving me it then? Sorry, I would be paying out of my own pocket. I do this to pay rent. Grunt, middle finger. So the main thing I learned from this post is there's services where you can put your puppy dog on a phone case? What? Hey, I just checked out your page and I'm interested in a photography shoot. Hey, I'd be happy to, as long as I have your consent to post the pictures on my page, and if that's okay, when are you free? That's cool. I was hoping to do it Thursday down at blank. Definitely, it'll cost an extra $10 for travel, but all up 40 bucks. We can do it from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. I only have to leave early so I can get the bus back home on time. Is that cool? Blank told me you did it for free. I did, but that was when I was starting out my business. She also bought me lunch as payback. Could you do mine for free, please? I need it by next week because I want to send in samples of my modeling. Hello? If you call this a business, it's the most unprofessional thing. I'm sorry, I was just having dinner. I can't do it for free. A lot of time goes into photo editing and I'd like to be paid. It's how a business works. This is stupid. You're just an amateur D-bag with a stupid Canon camera calling yourself a professional photographer. You're an egotistical sack of freaking doo-doo and I'm making sure blank knows how much of a stuck-up grunt you were today. Go F yourself, you prostitute. Dear group, I recently went on a date with a nice woman. We had dinner, drinks, and a great conversation. As the waiter brought our bill, my date asked me, could I buy 2 takeout dinner for her kids? I said no because I don't even know her kids. She had an attitude for the rest of the night, so I cut the date short. Question, was I wrong for not buying her kids I never met dinner? And was she asking too much too soon? We got a 2-for-1 deal. Choosing beggar and entitled parent all rolled up into one. And no, my friend, trust me, I've seen enough entitled parents in my life to know that you dodged a bullet with this one. About 15 years ago, I was in a car accident, not my fault, and I was awarded $25,000 in insurance money as a result. I took the opportunity to move out of my mom's home and get a cute little studio apartment for me and my cat. The people on either side of the courtyard were very nice, and I made friends fairly quickly with all the neighbors despite being so much younger than all of them. After living there for around a year, I met a girl my age and we became, I thought, good friends. She had had marriage problems and was separated from her husband, and the 2 children she had were in foster care for reasons she wouldn't tell anyone. She begged me to help her get her kids back from Child Protective Services. So I got a list of guidelines from the local office, and together, Beggar and I started planning to try to get her children back. I bought her children furnishings and helped her get a job. I even used some of my insurance money to help her get a used car so that she had transportation for her and her kids. And she did get her kids back. They had a small 2-bedroom apartment. She slept on the couch, and her children each had their own bedrooms. The girl's room was decked out in Dora the Explorer furnishings that I had bought for her, and the boy's room was decorated with sports cars as he requested. It was a lot of money, but I was a sucker and I thought it was a good cause. Soon after getting her kids back, she stopped coming over as often. Her kids came over all the time, but she was usually nowhere to be seen. I found out that she was attempting to settle things with her husband, and he moved in with her, bringing his drug problem with him. I also noticed the sleeping arrangements had changed. They had crammed the children into the smallest bedroom together, pawning off all of the toys and furniture that wouldn't fit. Apparently, they used the money on pills. At this point, I sort of started distancing myself from Beggar because I don't want to get involved with someone doing drugs. I did still watch the kids, however, as I felt bad for them. Their parents were often found loaded up on pills and alcohol. At this point, I was out of insurance money and was working 12-hour shifts with elderly hospice patients as a caregiver. I used a large portion of my income to make sure the kids were fed since Beggar and her husband spent all their money on drugs and liquor. It also meant that I very rarely had time to hike down to the center courtyard to check my mail. I'm guessing I had gone a month without looking, expecting that all I had was a few catalogs and several copies of the weekly shopper coupons. I've learned my lesson and I check my mail often now. When I opened my mailbox, I was alarmed by the large stack of government sealed letters that had been wedged in it. There were 6 separate letters, all of which accused me of a different offense. This culminated in my having 5 warrants out for my arrest and a court date. It turns out that Beggar had gotten an old used car from a local junk dealership. The car had, if I can remember the list, no tags, an expired license plate, and a missing taillight, so of course it was pulled over. Beggar, being on a probational period with Child Protective Services, meaning if she stepped out of line they would take her kids away again, panicked and decided that she would lie about her identity. So she said she was me and she was driving without a license and insurance because she had forgotten her purse. Jerk. The first thing I did was go to her and ask her what this was, as I recognized the model of car as the one she was so proud to have gotten. After having pawned the car I helped her get a year prior. I didn't even know you could pawn a car, by the way. She smiled at me and simply said, "You don't have a criminal record, so they won't punish you like they would me. You don't want me to lose my kids again, do you?" I'm not sure what she expected, but I was beyond caring at this point. I was pissed. The first thing I did was cancel my work for the next few days, and I set about making appointments with a lawyer and the police officer that took Beggar's word that she was me simply because she knew my name and address. The next day, I was at the police department where I watched a video of the interaction between the cop and Beggar. Turns out he was a newbie and he just didn't want to get in trouble for taking someone's word when he really shouldn't have. And luckily for me, Beggar's husband was there and she was instructed to switch seats with him because "I can't allow you to drive without proper ID, ma'am." She then walked around the back of the car in full view of the camera. The officer admitted his mistake since I wasn't pregnant. My hair wasn't a gigantic curly mess and I was a good foot taller than she was. I know I didn't mention her being pregnant, but I had to cut some things out. The next day, on my way out to visit my lawyer, I was waylaid by Beggar and Beggar's mom. They were both furious with me for going to the police, and I was instructed to go back to the station and tell them that I made a mistake and that I actually was the one at fault. When I said no, the poo hit the fan. Beggar left, but her mother remained. She stood in my way on the path and wouldn't let me get to my car, all the while screaming about how she was going to tell everyone that I molested the children when they were in my care. I was young, and that did scare me a little because I didn't want to be placed on a list for something I would never ever do. Still though, I recognized that she was screaming these threats in full view of many of the neighbors in my courtyard, many of whom had stepped out to see what all the fuss was about. The police were called and she was given a warning. I was asked if I wanted to get a restraining order, but for some reason, I said no. Over the next few days, CPS approached me and I told them everything. all the while feeling like I should have come forward sooner. The children were again taken into foster care. And that is where all of this should have ended, with me learning a valuable lesson. Nope. In the weeks that followed, Beggar gave my phone number to everybody under the sun. I was called for drugs, sexual favors, and even for loans. One of my car's windows was smashed in with a brick, and there was shoe polish writing the words "lying prostitute" on the back of the car. At one point, people started coming and banging on the door of my apartment in the middle of the night, and they shattered my front window and broke my bird feeder. I was saved from taking any legal action for all of this when Beggar's husband and Beggar were thrown in jail for identity theft, buying and selling drugs, all of the charges that had previously been mine, and child endangerment. There may have been more, but I can't remember. The apartment hired 24-hour security because of everything that happened, and they also installed security cameras all around the courtyards. Thanks for all the free money and for babysitting my kids. Now, I would really appreciate it if you could go to jail for me because, well, I don't want to go to jail, so you should go instead of me. Thanks for everything. Bye-bye. I'm blind. Can I have it for free? No pressure, but I'm considering ending it all. Well done typing the message. Did you get your blind dog to type it? Have you never heard of Braille? Sure have, but you don't use it, pal. Check your Nintendo Watch post. There's a little clue there as to why I know you're not blind. Mind your own business, moron. I really like how this choosing beggar is like, no pressure, but I'm considering ending it all. I mean, I'm not trying to twist your arm here, but just to let you know, I'm literally going to kill myself, and I think the only thing stopping me is that you might give me this thing for free. I mean, no pressure though, but basically, if you don't give me this thing for free, you're basically murdering me. No pressure though. That was rSlash and normally I try to end the video with a joke, but to be honest, all I want to do is go check out those Donkey phone cases.